Okay, I think we can start. And I think the whole process is really all connected together. And we are talking about each stage at many different points. So if people even joined us in any part of the session, I'm sure that they will get all the whole idea together. Um, so basically, Field Ready is a humanitarian organization globally, which is supporting supplies made in the field. And it is all about using technology and innovative ways to making things, making the right things in the right time and in the right place. And these are few photos of our engineers at Field Ready working in the fields with 3D printers and going to find ways of solving different problems globally where they are needed. Right now, we'll start with the part where we called our workshop like a surprise. So fabrication and like the 3D printed toys inside. So basically, this is the idea. This was actually one of the projects that we already did with the London School of Hygiene and Save the Children in 2018 and in the camps in Iraq. And that was the first project actually in Iraq that was really about making soaps with toys inside and distributing it among the children in the camp to motivate them and challenge them to wash their hand more. And basically we had transparent toys and 3D printed, we had 3D transparent soap and 3D printed toys to put in them. And this was like a research project. So considering how much the kids were washing their hand, this was all considered into account within.
Non, je peux pas prendre le message. Au fait, je l'ai pas écouté jusqu'au bout, mais j'ai pas entendu parler.
This is some photos explaining how we did it in the camps with the kids. Basically, the idea was they would choose the type of the toy that they think they'd like to have it in the soap, or the color, and then later the smell of the soap, the color of the soap, like every detail of that was held in a workshop that was held with the kids. And everything was, they were like small designers in the whole process, that they were deciding on every details of the idea. And in the picture, as you see, that we have all the toys in white because we didn't make them colorful at first when we were talking about the shape, because we wanted them to not be attracted for a color rather than picking up, because they are all in the same like color, to choose based on the toy design that they like. This is how we worked it actually at that time, because we wanted a number of 400 to 500 toys. And then we had ourselves only access to one printer. So we decided to distribute it among the peoples in Iraq at first, and then to look at around the region who has access to 3D printer to help us in printing 500 toys. These are the people who supported us in that project with printing the toys. And the whole idea of Field Ready is also like supporting distributed manufacturing. And this was one of the good things about this project, that we managed to print all together, and then to be able also to collect the number of the toys on the right time to be like to meet the deadline of the project actually. So these are a few pictures of the toys. And then when we are talking about risking and hazards, also the size of the toys should be something that could not have choking risk. So we consider that the toys should be big enough because it's used by kids, and then to avoid the choking hazard. Yes, this is few photos that explains the whole process that we have, because we didn't do the whole process of making the actual soap, but then we got plain soaps and we melted them, and then we printed the toys. And the toys actually you could design it yourself if you have the skills of designing like the shapes that you want. And also we used platforms like Thingiverse and downloaded designs from that, from other designs around the world. That could be something that attracts the kid. That depends on the period of the project. If it's something that you have enough time to design yourself, or it's something that you want to use other available designs. And those open source platforms are always useful because that's basically why they exist, to support how we find everything we need in managing our time when we do something. So this is basically the first photo explains how the pouring process is occur when you have the molten soap, and then later using alcohol spray to avoid bubbles in the whole soap, and then the final picture is the actual soap after solidification. And this, we have been trying it, as I said, in Iraq, and then we have been trying it elsewhere as a part of responding to COVID-19, again, to motivate kids to wash their hands more so that they are managing to be COVID-free, at least when they wash their hand more. This is in Kenya, like this has just been done recently. They also did around 1,000 of them as a part of the project and distributed them among the kids in the school, just to motivate them also, again, to wash their hand more. And yeah, so this was like the final soap result for the project in Iraq, after packaging and being ready for distribution. As you can see, those are the toys that we chose, and we actually chose them through the open source websites like Thingiverse and many other ones. And also to go in a little bit how we are doing those projects right now after the idea of that soap project. In 2019, we managed to have maker spaces in Iraq, and right now there is 3 like maker spaces in 3 areas that works with Field Ready, which is IoT Maker that Safe comes from, and we have Mosul Space in Mosul, and we have Herbal Innovation House, that they are all co-working spaces with maker spaces inside. And a new one is coming on in another city of Iraq, which is Suleimania. And the staff in those maker spaces are all young Iraqi engineers with the skills to be able to develop designs and products, and work with the Field Ready global team to find useful designs and respond to specific problems, and make things locally, which is the aim of the whole project, and also to support young Iraqis, providing them the skills that they need. So maybe, Saif, if you'd like to, because you're repeating the same project right now in Baghdad, if you'd like to say a few words about how you are doing it before moving to the practical part, how we are actually doing the whole process of making the soap. It would be good if we get some ideas about, because right now you're already doing, like you're in the middle of your project right now.
So hello everyone. Hey again. Okay, let's talk about how the process was going. As Ravin said, that we are still in the middle of the process. Ibrahim is now preparing to show you in a later time how the soap is melted using the microwave, and then it's poured into the silicone mold that we have made.
Yeah, but maybe Ibrahim, a little bit about your current project in Basra. Like, if you just say a few words about what you are doing this time for making.
Oh yeah, actually, we are working also on a sub project that in Basra, the same idea we're talking about now. There will be about 8,000 piece of soap, where a piece of toy is put inside the soap. So we're still working on that. We are making the toys now using the laser cutter, and making toys with the acrylic So then we can, when we finish making the toys, we will start on making the soap molds and putting the toys in these soaps so they can be ready to deliver.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's great. So right now, if there's no any question about the field ready in general and the project in Iraq, which we have these maker spaces, we would move to the practical part and the fun part of actually making and showing you the ways that we are making the soap. Yeah, so just for your information, this is again the contacts and the emails of Ibrahim and Saif, who are working with us in Iraq in the makerspace in Baghdad. If you want to get in touch, if you had any other questions to them later, and also myself. Yeah. Right now, we will start with the part that is the soap making. I'll be sharing my screen with a video. Or maybe, Yusuf, can you share the screen with the video of the toy in the makerspace?
Yes, just a second.
And I think from the video, Baghdad Space, they are now they are ready to do some of the parts live. But we would first show you the part where we make the toy and print it with our 3D printers here in the space. Yeah, Noura, by the time that they will share the screen, I'd like to repeat a little bit about the whole idea is that this surprise soup, which right now I have one ready in my hand, this is a transparent soap with 3D printed toy inside, which is basically an idea. And these are the toys that I have also. I have some of them in my hand. They are all 3D printed. Is that to motivate kids to wash their hand more. And this is something that we have been, as Field Ready, working on either in the camps to motivate kids wash their hand, or in schools, in more vulnerable populations to motivate the kids to wash their hand more. And this has been like popular, especially with a research study that we had already in the project in Iraq, that it actually increased hand washing among the kids by 4 times than before. And we are currently, again, working on a greater number inside Iraq using the concept of distributed manufacturing. So we are distributing the toy making around Iraqi maker spaces. And then they will be distributed among schools and see how that would be helping them in washing their hand more, especially when we are during COVID. So this could be something also in response to COVID-19, because this is basically helping us to be more like sanitized and more, So Yusuf, do you think you have the video right now? I hope that was a very brief intro again that could help you. And if you have any other questions, please ask in the chat.
It's just a little bit of technical difficulties. The video will be up in a second.
Hi, Raven. This is Andrew Lamb from Field Ready here. I'm really glad to be able to drop in as a participant on this session, but I just wanted to emphasize something that you just said. To increase the rate of hand washing amongst children by a factor of 4 is extraordinary. It's just amazing. And to provide some context for that, the researchers from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine that were working on this innovation in Iraq with the makers, with the local community, conducting the research. You have basically said this is probably the single most exciting thing to have happened in child hand washing.
Yes, Andrew, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, I think the research is already available if you search it for yeah, on the internet. And yeah, because that was a very tight research. And like when we did it inside the camp, like some of the kids in the camp got only soap without having the toy inside, and the rest got it with the toy inside. And that had been under the research and the study to check how that is really affecting the hand washing. And yeah, as Andrew mentioned, the results were really amazing. And yeah.
Yeah, the video is
really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Yusuf, for that part. So that was just to show you how we're actually using 3D printers to print the toy, but that doesn't mean that you only have this method for having the toys. Right now, what we are doing is that instead of 3D printing, because 3D printing usually takes more time for producing an actual piece of those toys, we're using like laser cutting, which is another, fabrication method, but like you'll get the number, like mass produced number, rather than just printing yeah, smaller bonds. So that was a short video for 3D printing, and as I said, in this one we used the design from the open source platforms like Thingiver, but for the laser cutter one, we are the ones that have more times in designing with the support from the technical staff in the maker spaces. And I think we have two short videos, and then we can go to Ibrahim and Saif so that they will do to get more interaction from you, that they will do it also live again. But we have two other videos that they worked on, from designing an actual mold for the soap. So you can either have like use disposable stuff, or you can use silicone available moldings, but then you can also from your spaces or from your home through silicone molding materials, design your own mold. And we would show this method that we have tested in the maker spaces. So maybe Yusuf, if you have the video for that one also, if you could share it with us, like
Thank you, Ravin, for the great introducing. I might have some couple of commentary on the video as it's playing, so you guys can understand more the process of how we made this mold and how we printed this molding eggs.
Yeah, thank you so much, Saif.
Yo. So that's the egg that's we're showing right now.
Maybe the part that they are designing the pattern, like.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the first process of making a silicone mold, is to coat the material itself with anything non-adhesive, like Vaseline or any liquid that can separate it from the silicone itself. And this process that we're making a jar or a shape for the mold, so we can get it right in this cylindrical shape, best fit for our purpose. After that, we'll start mixing the silicone mold, the silicone rubber with the hardener, and pour it right on top of the shape we're making a mold of. It's gonna be a quick jump in time actually, but the process is gonna take like an hour or 2 hours to fully cure. After that, we'll just slightly cut the silicone rubber, the silicone mold, just to release the 3D printed egg from inside of it. And here we have a replica, an exact replica of the shape we put it in the silicone. And it's already ready to be used, ready to get the soap in it. And actually, the making of the soap is a two-step process. The first process is we get half of the mold filled with the soap. After that, we put the 3D printed toy inside of it, right in the middle. After that, the second part is we pour the rest of the soap in it. And get it filled.
Yeah, thank you, Save. I think that was really great.
Right.
And maybe we can show, because we skipped one stage, which is like the pattern making for the mold. That could be any shape that you want the soap to be in that shape before the silicone molding. And they actually 3D printed the pattern, which you see it's like in that shape. Maybe we'll have another video to show you, which is again a short video just to show you how they designed the pattern and how they printed the actual pattern also.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. If you want to give the comment first.
Yeah, if you want to give commentary on it, I can stop the sound.
I guess it's a straightforward process, so let the viewers enjoy the music. I don't know. If any questions they have to ask, just say it. Right. Yeah, so as everyone saw, the process was straightforward. We 3D printed the shape we wanted, and it's like an Easter egg, actually, with geometric shape. It's pretty cool. But after we just sprayed with spray paint, so we can get the surface as clear as possible and not sticky, because the 3D printer surface is going to be a little bit rough. So yeah, just to smooth the surface, and we made the mold of right out of it. And actually, Rabin, as we were waiting for this soap or this mold to be cured, it's gonna take an hour or so. So hopefully, we'll get the time to open it in this session. But just in case, there's the video of the soap itself, the curing of the soap and how it went out of the mold. If you can showcase that, I appreciate it. Yeah, so actually now we're melting the soap. It takes a minute or so in the microwave to melt the soap. And here we're just traveling to the makerspace as fast as we can. So as I said, we're just pouring, we're filling half of the mold just so we can put the toy in the middle of it, and then we pour the other half. And just before we leave the soap to harden, we spray a little bit of alcohol in it, spraying alcohol, so it gets the bubbles out of the way, get a clear finished product. Thank you, guys. If any questions, please ask right away.
Yeah, so say if you're right now doing the same thing, like you have a poured it into the silicone molding, or?
Sorry, I didn't get.
So right now, Ibrahim is working on making the soap again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, I already did.
Okay, so you want to take it out, or?
Just as I said, it's gonna take an hour or so to harden. So hopefully we'll get to that by the end of the session and show you the finished product.
Do you have a finished like a finished one to show? Like I have this one, but this is in a different shape, which we actually made it here in Herbal. Our colleague here made it. And
actually, I want to surprise everyone. Finish the product, so I don't have one with this shape right now.
okay. Yeah. So if we have any questions, like to take. So basically, they poured half of the mold at the first time and wait for it to solidify, because we don't want the toy to go like to the bottom of the mold. We want like the first layer to solidify and then to put the actual toy, and then pour the second layer of it and wait for it to solidify. Yeah, if there is any questions regarding the project itself, the fabrication, we thought maybe we can take your questions about that. Yes, any question, or anyone that is interested to give it a try and test it, if you have access to printer, or if you have, yeah. Could you tell us if you have plans? So this was something that we actually were working on, to turning this into a business, or like to scale it up. And right now for this project in Baghdad, we're involving with a manufacturer which is helping us in the process of the soap making. So they are already a manufacturer of soap, but they would support us with making the soap, and we will be providing them with the toy, because we are talking about like a number of over 8,000. And that really makes sense for an actual manufacturer to scale, to work on that scale. But this is, yeah, something that we are looking at, and we are really interested in thinking of it if someone wants to scale this as an actual production. Yeah.
Can I say something about the market as well? I think the market that we the market that we've seen and that we've spoken about, and we're really just starting to actually make products for ourselves, is definitely the humanitarian sector itself. So we have kind of another NGO that's doing water and sanitation and hygiene. They're doing hygiene with schools in Basra, and that's why they want us to make these toys for them. And we've talked to people who put together like the hygiene kits for sort of post-emergencies. And they, there's interest there in these soaps, because like getting, a really critical place to get children to wash their hands is in camp settings when they've been displaced. And things like cholera and etc. can spread really easily. So there can be like value for them in paying a bit more for a soap. That then would reduce the disease burden on the camp. But yeah, we're still sort of working through that, because there's all sorts of kind of procurement things. In terms of the general market, I think that really depends where you are. Like it really depends on the local context. If this is a sort of thing that, you know, parents would pay for, if there's a lot of, and what the sort of, you know, what else is out there in the market and would be otherwise imported at the same price. Oh, hello, someone from Sulemania.
Yeah, so
nice.
someone from Sulemania is saying that is interested and wants to get in touch, yeah, to collaborate on implementing this project, you know, setting up production units inside Kurdistan. Well, yeah, definitely.
Well, that's great. Have you said already about we're about to set up a new space in Sulemania?
Yeah, so this is, I think, I'm not sure you were there in the beginning, but yeah, we mentioned about like right now we are setting up another space in Sulemania, just like the one that we have in Erbil and Baghdad. And you're really welcome to visit us there and we can discuss about how we can work on that. Okay, that's really interesting that you're a chemical engineer, and I'm sure that you have a great experience about making soaps actually. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, maybe we can just exchange contacts and even in this.
Yeah, I think I will, maybe we'll write our emails again if you get in touch. We already shared it in the presentation, but... And then, MR is saying that you have, you sent a video of a nice initiative about soap making. Would you like to explain a little bit about it? Because right now we are not opening that YouTube video, if you'd like to say anything about that. You're welcome, Jihad.
I'm not sure he's here.
Okay. Any other questions? So I think this is a video that someone in the chat shared about another initiative that they are making. So, and my colleague just wanted to play it for everyone so that we will see what is it.
Thank you for that amazing video.
We have only worked on this this item as a worked with other humanitarian organization to mass produce it and distribute it. But like as we said, this is something that probably we would love either other people to be involved in making it in a sort of a business, and or to assess like even the market again, to see how people will be willing, like parents will be willing to buy and pay more than the actual soap for getting a soap that has a choice inside. So these are all possibilities, and as we said, we are really looking forward to work with other people on this project in Iraq and other areas, because it's not only about that, but like at this stage when we're not having an actual manufacturer to make it, we are trying to distribute it among the peoples that has access either to 3D printer or a soap making manufacturer, to all work together and consider it like a distributed manufacturing idea that we already like to work on and would love to tap into that more, because one of the things that we really want to focus on in Iraq is supporting local manufacturing here. And I think that's one of the ways that we could be helping the manufacturers in the area, either through accepting and like bringing in an order from the other humanitarian organizations if they would like to support that project and duplicate it in other areas, and then from us to distribute it among the people who are in our network. So right now we have a network of makers, which is called Maker Hive, and like the spaces in Baghdad, Erbil, hopefully in a very near future, Suleimania and Mosul, and some other people who has access to 3D printer in Duhok and other areas in Iraq. They are part of that network, and we are trying to grow that network even more. So if you're a maker and in Iraq and you'd like to be part of our Maker Hive network, and we are trying to support through that network, and any order that comes in or any sort of product that we want to make, either it's in response to COVID-19 or any other things, we will be distributing it among the network itself. And we will make sure that everything will, like with the support from our global technical team and advisors, we'll try to make sure that the product is made in a high quality and a good standard that could be really used by the people in the area. And yeah, so please get in touch if you'd like this to be part of this, or if you're already doing something which is close to this, or if you want to try this over yourself and you don't have a space. We have spaces in the areas that we mentioned. You can come and test it physically, because it's really fun, and it is also an interesting project. Any other questions and comments? Or Ibrahim, how are you doing with your soap solidifications? Like, is it cooling down, or how is it? Safe if you updated us about that.
Yeah,
one.
actually, it's still cooling down right now. Just try to.
This is still a little squishy, so
Yeah, it started hardening actually, but it's still from inside. It's still melted. Since you know that the
Is that an
outside.
example? Okay, you have a soap next to the silicone molding. Is that another example that you made it for
Yeah,
your
this is another shape. That was another
Okay,
option.
we need to get it closer to the camera and then show
Can you
us.
get it,
That is
closer to the
different.
camera,
It has a laser cutted thing inside rather than 3D printing. Is that a keychain or something like that?
Yeah,
it's the shape of
basketball.
Okay, so that's a keychain. So it doesn't really have to be something that you made it only for like kids in the very small age. You can do it. I think this project is mostly targeting like more younger people rather than really. So that's why they are trying to change it a little bit, rather than putting, small toys, putting keychains and hopefully very soon we will see how that project and we'll see the results of that one as well.
Actually, these two are made of acrylic from credit.
Yeah, maybe if you get that one a little bit closer, Ibrahim and Saif, so that they would see. So this is a shape that is acrylic and they have laser cut it in their space. Yeah, it looks like a shape of a cat, and that would be like something like a keychain. And as they mentioned, we need around 8,000 of those. And so all the maker spaces will participate in making those. And yeah, so if you have access to that, or if you know someone that is interested in helping with that, this is something that we would love to add to and add to our community of makers in Iraq. Thank you, Noura. I'm happy that you enjoyed it and you think that was interesting. Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, that was great.
Thank you, Andrew, for joining. And yeah. Okay, if there's no any other questions, and Ibrahim, if you don't think that you can take them out, we can maybe show it and end the workshop today. But we're really looking forward to meet you all physically in our spaces. Please do get in touch and yeah. Don't you think it's still ready?
Actually, sorry. Yeah, actually, it's kind of tricky now, but I can manage that. In this soap, practically, I showcased different type of soaps, two kinds actually. One was not that transparent, actually. Yeah. So there we can see difference.
Oh yeah, so you used different colors for that.
Yeah. And as it really hards a little bit more, it can get a bit clearer. So you can see the toy inside of it. But this part is actually covered, so this is just to show how the geometric shape of the surface how they get that out of the wall. And this one is going to be a little bit more clear when it gets fully cured, and we'll have a couple times of views just to get all the surface bubbles or
Yeah, that's really good. That's really cool. So the one in this side is the pattern, and this is the actual soup that came out. And we said that you can use any sort of mold. There's a lot of those silicone molding that we usually use for making cookies. You can still test it out with those if you don't have access to the silicone molding material, or you just want to something quick. Or yeah, we also use some disposable stuff to make this, like just this one. It's it's like a cupcake thing that we made this one from, and you can see the tray inside. And this one is actually both made it from the same transparent, same color soap, but like usually it would be somehow nice also to use like a plain one in the bottom and the top one to be transparent. And yeah, this way it could be a little bit different from this one. So right now we are, Jihad, we are buying the actual soap, which is like a transparent one from here. But then it can also be home prepared, especially if you're a chemical engineer, as you said. I think this is something that you have more knowledge about, how you could actually make it out of the raw material. But as we mentioned, we're right now in touch with an actual soap manufacturer that they do it here. But yeah, if you would like to be involved and support with making the actual plain soap here with your experience and knowledge, you're more than welcome to visit us, and we can discuss that more. So just get in touch with the email that I sent you, and yeah. Great, thank you. So if there's not any other question, I think we will be ending up the session here, and really hoping that you all enjoyed it and you find it interesting. And yeah, please do get in touch if you're in Iraq, or even if you're outside Iraq and you're working on a similar project. I would love to learn what other peoples around the globe are doing through their maker spaces and fab labs, and also the people in Iraq to be part of our community. If you have an idea and you want a place to work on it, and yeah, just visit us or contact us. And yeah, thank you so much for joining. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you. Thanks, Sam. Thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay,
all.
thank everyone for listening. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye bye.